Today, we're going to workshop together in under 10 minutes how to effectively create a membership model that adequately describes the value of your practice, conveys that value to your potential patients. Now, having a cash-based membership model is one of the best things you can do for the health outcome of your patients, and also create a business stability for your practice so that you can provide for yourself, provide for your family, and have freedom of time, location, etc., things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Now, all I have here is a Google document, and we've named it Membership Outline Workshop. So that's just how we go to just get started. So we're going to do this all together. One of the things to remember is that you need to start by thinking of the ideal person that you want to work with. So I'm gonna put here, I'm just gonna say 45-year-old female. Now, some of you who work more in pediatrics, you would put another patient, but you're gonna put somebody that you feel that for your membership model, that is somebody that you can work with and that you want to work with. Now, I'm going to start listing out their problems. The way I think about this is, what are their chief complaints that they're coming with? Now, in integrative medicine, sometimes we get things like headaches, migraines, things like that, but a lot of times it's a little bit more nuanced, especially in the integrative functional world. So they might feel that they're fatigued. They may, they don't feel like they don't feel like themselves in their own skin, difficulty with weight loss, improved musculoskeletal function, improved sleep. They might have some brain fog. They might have some joint pain. So these are all things that they're kind of coming to you with. Next, I then break up from a provider perspective what their problems are, and I typically break this up into internal and external environments, because that's typically what we're dealing with. So a lot of times I'm going to be concerned about their gut health. They might have poor gut health. They might have nutritional deficiencies. They might have issues with proper detoxification in terms of not having adequate bowel movements or sweating, or they might be dehydrated and not urinating properly. So things like that. They might have poor vagal tone, meaning that their stress response is suboptimal. They might have suboptimal hormones or imbalanced hormones, I guess I should say. So those are typically the issues that I'm seeing in their internal environment. Now, in their external environment, this patient is typically stressed at home and at work a lot of times, just kind of a stressful environment in general. They feel like they don't have enough time. They might be, in an effort to lose weight, they might be adding additional stress for workouts. They might struggle with food, like having time to cook, cooking for families who may not be eating the same way that they are. And they might feel just kind of isolated, alone. They may not have a tribe. They might have personal care products that are just kind of adding to the toxic burden in their home, whether that's makeup, cleaning products, detergent, things like that. So now I'm going to start to think about my membership. So the membership should aim to decrease the patient's time and effort in achieving their health outcome. So what I initially think of is, okay, so a membership does not mean that you, the provider, needs to see them every single month. What we know is that when you do your treatment plan and you're prescribing prescriptions or supplements or labs or things like that, you need to give it a month or two to give it time for those interventions to work. So also within the membership, you have just the one-on-one time, and then you have just the external support, the tribe, the education, that kind. So let's think about just the one-on-one time. So I would like to see my patient, let's say I would like to see them 5 times throughout the year. So just kind of start with like 5 or 6 times throughout the year. So every other month. In my practice, it worked at about 5 times throughout the year. So that's just kind of that cadence initially. Now, when I'm looking at these internal issues that are happening for this person, then these are tools in my toolbox as a practitioner. So just starting to kind of formulate that in my brain, I'm probably going to start by replacing nutrient deficiencies. I might start by doing a gut rehabilitation program to improve the microbiome. I then might start with the, then go with the HPA axis and start by supporting the adrenals, thyroid, and the sex hormones. And then I might move on to improving the detox pathways, and just supporting that in general. So as a practitioner, so these are kind of like those one-on-one appointments. So if I'm seeing them about 5 times throughout the year, I might, like, this would be blood work. The advanced lab for that would either be a stool test. I might need to do a SIBO test. This might be saliva adrenal curve or Dutch test, kind of depending. I could look at genetics here, or, you know, so on and so forth. I might need to do like a mycotox test if I suspect mold. So as you can see, this is a personalized approach to that person. So I'm just trying to kind of like create that framework for you. Now, and when it comes to external supports, this is really where that membership piece comes in, because we are going to be taking these problems and these external issues, and we're going to start to think about what kind of education, what kind of support might this person need to get through this. So I would want to have some sort of health coach or nutritionist, and this is for one-on-one appointments. One-on-one appointments to help with my interventions. This helps kind of bring it from theory to intervention action, right? So I would want to have a health coach, nutritionist. What I found in my practice as well, having a therapist visit was really helpful for them if there was something deeper in a mental health perspective that we needed to explore. So these things are all from like a one-on-one visit. Now, I also think that this patient would need education. She needs education on what personal care products to use. She needs education on just like basic gut health and how it works and why it's important to take care of that. She needs education on hormone health, signs, symptoms, when the major players like cortisol, thyroid, sex hormones are imbalanced. So she needs education on what that looks like and what contributes to that. She also might need a cooking class, or just education on healthy eating from a convenience standpoint. She might need recipes, ideas for snacks, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as cooking for a family with different needs. She also needs to be educated on how to improve the vagal tone. So I know most of my patients that age, they really need to support the parasympathetic nervous system. So we need to educate her on how to do that and why that's important. And she also needs group, she needs a tribe, she needs to feel supported all together. So what this piece might look like is a monthly live education series where we talk about these things. So I'm just going to go down the list. Now, this personal care products, I might be able to take care of that with either a recorded video or maybe like a handout where I give recommendations for makeup, mattresses, cookware, water filter, just kind of all those things to help decrease the toxic burden on her body. So I think that can probably be like a handout that maybe they get in the beginning of the membership. So I'm just kind of thinking about everything that she needs to be successful and how I might deliver that. Now, gut health, that definitely needs to be a live talk with myself. I would like to do that. Same with hormone health. I would like that to be a live talk with myself. This cooking class education on like healthy eating, and just some basic recipes. I think I would like my health coach or nutritionist to take care of that piece of it. Recipe ideas, I could create that. That would be like a handout, and I'd probably outsource that to my health coach or nutritionist. Cooking for family with different needs. I think that could be part of that class as well. So right now I have 3 classes. I have the gut health, the hormone health, and the cooking class. Improving the vagal tone, support parasympathetic nervous system. So I think that should be a live class about just thought work, diaphragmatic breathing, all these different ways that we know on how to improve that tone. I could teach that, or I could outsource that to like a mind body expert or something like that. We'll see. But for right now, I'll say that I'll teach that. In order to have this group, tribe, and feeling supported, I could make sure that I create a community of members either on Facebook or whatever platform I might be using. And then also by coming together live in person or via Zoom, I think would help with that. And then I forgot to include this, but I think teaching them how to work out in middle age, that would be a good series. And I would like to probably outsource that to some sort of trainer, some sort of fitness expert as well. So what I have now, so let me kind of look. So this is something that I can create. This one is a class. So I'm going to put that down here. Okay. And then improving the vagal tone. So that's another class that I've decided to teach. This is that nutrition cooking class. And then, and then we have the hormone. And then the working out. And then, okay, so we have hormone, cooking, vagal tone, gut, working out. Okay, so we have about 5 classes. Now, this can be, so in terms of organizing this, throughout the year, you could just cycle through them. So I would just kind of pick an order to put that in, and then just keep going through that throughout the year. So this is my first draft of my membership, kind of with really catering to this kind of individual. And this, as I sit with this and become more and more intentional and create lists of what I need to do for this kind of patient, what I hope you're realizing is that a membership model is so much more than how many appointments with you, how many appointments with the health coach, unlimited portal messaging, discount on supplements. Like, that's the structure, but what will really make your membership thrive and really have your patient light up and be like, oh my goodness, like this practice was created for me. This is exactly what I need. That is when you're really looking at, what does this patient need? What problems are they facing? What are the issues that you see as a provider from their internal and external environments? And a lot of these internal environments, that is what you deal with on those one-to-one appointments. That is what you help them with. But you don't have time, even though these appointments are longer, 45 minutes to an hour typically, you typically don't have time to address all these other needs that are frankly the reason why some patients might quit or feel like they can't do it, is because yes, they can maybe take the prescribed supplement or prescription, but when they go back to their life, that is when it's harder for them to kind of keep up with all the other things. So that is why that they need education, they need handouts, they need support with other providers like the health coach, the therapist, the trainer, and just start to create it. What I want to say is that this is in the dream phase. Allow yourself to just dream. Don't think logically, like, how am I going to hire these people? How am I going to pay them? I'm only one person. Don't go there quite yet. We're going to talk about that soon. But at this point, you're just thinking of the patient and dream about what kind of support they might need. And then we'll continue on from there. Hope this was helpful. Thanks a lot.